participate in back-to-back years at NCAA Regional. It's a great regional, there's no question. The guys are excited, and obviously deservedly so. They put themselves in position this year to be rewarded with this opportunity.
What do you think about the regional so far, that pairing with Miami?
Well, first of all, it's a great regional. There's no question, an outstanding regional. I mean, obviously we know about Miami. We've had the opportunity to play them, an outstanding program. Stony Brook, I think most people would tell you, I know they're a 4 seed in that regional, but they are clearly one of the best 4 seeds in the entire bracket. They've got an outstanding ball club. They've got some outstanding pitching, tremendous coach, and so Stony Brook is also an outstanding club. And I mean, Missouri State, you can just look at their record and the teams that they've beaten. So point being, it's an outstanding, very competitive regional, and we're excited to have the opportunity to compete.
Getting there last year, how much will that help the experience of having gone through it? A lot of your guys have gone through that experience before.
Well, I think first and foremost, nothing can replace experience. I really believe that. You know, last year was the first time that any of the players in our program had gone to an NCAA regional. And I think now that we've been there, I certainly think and hope that experience is going to help us moving forward. You know, listen, at the beginning of the year, we all know we talked about the theme was good to great. When you look at our regular season, I think we've achieved that. I really do. I think the kids did it. You know, they had over 40 wins this season. First time in a long time that this program has done that. Second place by 1 game, obviously, in the regular season. And obviously, we hope the same thing this year. You know, we're going to do the best we can to put ourselves in a position to win a regional.
Do you leave the CUSA tournament with a good taste in your mouth after that? Obviously, that opening game wasn't what you wanted, but the team rebounded and played well for those last 2 games.
There's no question. I mean, we leave Pearl, Mississippi with an outstanding feeling of momentum. You know, I think for people, really, if you analyze it and look at it, first and foremost, I mean, obviously that was a tough game against UAB, but we got run ruled. And then for the next day to come back and play the way we did against a great East Carolina team and a great Tulane team certainly says a lot about the determination of our kids. I mean, that first game in the Conference USA tournament, I mean, who knows? I mean, it happened. You may never see a game like that for a long time. I certainly hope not. But it happened, and I think the kids obviously learned from it, and we won 2 in a row. So hopefully that experience allows us to keep moving forward.
A lot of your guys have played 3 or 4 games in Miami Stadium. How much does that help that you know the surroundings?
Yeah, I think that plays. I mean, it plays a little bit of a role. I mean, obviously there's a certain comfort level by playing at a place that you've been at. But you know, I mean, last year we went to Tallahassee. We were just up there a few weeks earlier. So I think at the end of the day, when you get to the postseason and you get to the NCAA regional, at the end of the day, you got to be playing your best baseball, and you got to hit in the clutch. You got to pitch in the clutch when it matters. That's the difference, you know. And even when you look at the last couple of weeks, you know, in particular in our season, you know, a lot of it comes down to 1 at-bat, comes down to 1 pitch, and obviously the team that's playing the best is going to win that regional. So, I mean, all the teams that go, they're going to be determined. They're all going to be confident. All 4 teams in the Miami regional are outstanding, and we just got to go in there and play our best baseball.
Terry, what does it say about the growth of this program to do this back-to-back years and to go to a 2nd seed now?
Well, I think it says a lot. I mean, I really do. I think it says a lot. I mean, I'm certainly pleased with the growth of the program and to get us back in this position to go to an NCAA regional and back-to-back years. Certainly, you know, where it was 4 years ago, and to see the strides that it's made. It's you know, the reason that happens for the efforts of a lot of people. First of all, it happens for the players. I mean, we've got a very talented group of players who have put themselves in position to do it. A great group of assistant coaches and support staff. So obviously, I think it's an exciting time for our team, our program, and our university.
There's a lot of UCF alumni and fans living down in Miami. I know there's some players in this team who are from that area, so I'm sure they'll be well represented. Are you hoping to see some blocking going in the stands?
There's no question. I mean, obviously, it's you know, UCF has a big presence in South Florida, and we certainly hope that a lot of people, UCF fans, baseball fans, athletics, UCF athletics fans, whoever they are, will come down and support us. We're going to need them.
Darnell's a Miami guy, South Florida guy. Talk about the season he's had.
Darnell's done a great job for us. You know, Darnell Sweeney, without question, has been one of our leaders from the moment that he stepped foot on his campus. You know, he's played virtually every game at shortstop for us. I took him out at 1. I didn't start him that 1 game, but you know, Darnell has played every game for us at shortstop. Has been a tremendous leader for us, but not only just the way he's played statistically, and he's had a great career for us, but what he does for us on and off the field. And you know, Darnell is a special player, and he's been a part of, you know, those groups of kids that have put us in this position.
Missouri State is a very good #1 pitcher. Like I said, we only found out your opponent, I guess, recently. I don't know if you know much. His name's Nick Petrie. He was a freshman of the year, I think, a year ago, as a 0.92 ERA. Do you know anything, or have you gotten any early reports report maybe via text about who you might be facing?
I have not, to be honest with you. I have not. I know this Missouri State is an outstanding program. All I know at this moment right now at about 1 o'clock on Monday is what I've read kind of in Baseball America. They're kind of throughout the year, and I know they've got an outstanding team, an outstanding program, and you're right, their number one pitcher is tremendous. So, look, when you get to this time of the year, everybody's good. You don't make an NCAA regional unless you're good. One of the things that I think is a constant to get to a regional is you got to have good pitching, and obviously it seems like Missouri State has outstanding pitching, and we've got to play it one game at a time. I know we're all excited to go to Miami and go down there, but there's one focus, and that's playing Missouri State on Friday.
Sure, when you were leaving Tallahassee, Lester, I know you're talking about it came down to one bunt, one play here, one hit there. Those little things win you a region, right?
There's no question. I mean, that's the message, and I think that for our kids, I mean, I'll talk about it, but I certainly don't need to reiterate it. I mean, just look at all the one-run games that we played this year. I mean, it seems like every night is a one-run game, and it does. It comes down to one or two pitches. It comes down to one or two plays. I mean, look at all of these, I guess you could call them, quote, bigger games, I guess, of the year. And you can name the opponent, whether we've been on the good end of it or the bad end. Literally, it comes down to one or two pitches or one or two bunts on offense and defense. So what you hope that kids learn from that is that every pitch matters. We preach that all the time. You got to show up with energy, with confidence, and determination. When you get to an NCAA regional, everybody's got confidence, and everybody's going to be determined to win, but you just have to play better. I mean, that's it. You have to play better, and that's been kind of my message to these guys throughout the year. And I do feel like the last two games of the NCAA tournament, of the Conference USA tournament, our guys played better.
What's the schedule for the rest of this week? I don't know if you're going to try to practice today and with some bad weather, but were you open to practice today and tomorrow before heading down there?
Yeah, we're going to practice and lift weights today. Obviously, we got some weather, but it's okay. This is one day where we can just hit on the cages and throw. It's going to be a lighter day. Obviously, we had a long bus ride yesterday, coming back from Mississippi. So we're going to have a really light practice this afternoon. We're going to get in the weight room. The kids need to do that. We'll practice tomorrow afternoon. We'll see what the weather looks like. We're going to try to scrimmage, do a little bit of inter-squad the next day or two. Hopefully tomorrow, if the weather holds up, to kind of get everybody back in a groove a little bit. And we'll practice on Wednesday, and then we'll leave sometime Wednesday afternoon to go to Miami, then practice there on Thursday. So we've had a little bit of a break, obviously, and we've needed it, to be quite honest with you. Obviously we've got some guys that have been nursing some injuries, so hopefully everybody will be ready come next weekend.
Anybody you expect won't be able to participate, or?
No, I think as of this moment right now, everybody that traveled with us to the Conference USA tournament will travel with us to the NCAA regional and should be fully ready to play.
Just talk about the thought process that goes into when you select that starter on Friday. I don't know if you've made that in your mind up, but you look at matchups, the team they're facing, the guy you're most comfortable with. What will go through your mind when you pick that guy?
I think it's a combination of everything, to be honest with you. I think it's a combination. When you look at it, you got to get a little bit of a feel of who we're playing at Missouri State and look at the matchup with our guys. One thing I do feel good about is that we've got a collection of guys who have started for us on the mound, and they've all done a reasonably good job for us, throughout the year. So I think we do have some options. Obviously when you look at it, in particular this weekend, Ben Lively threw the ball very well in the tournament. Ray Hansen threw the ball very well in the tournament. A couple other guys came out of the bullpen for us. So whatever, the one thing for me, there's two things when you talk about pitching. There's two things that are very important. Number one is you're playing one game at a time. That's it. And I mean, I know it's a coach's cliche, but it's the truth. You just play one game at a time. That's one. And number two is you're there to win the regional. I'm going to be clear about that. We're there to win the regional. We talk about this road to Omaha. We talk about good to great. This program has continued to progress. At the end of the day, we're playing to get to Omaha, and we're very excited, and we feel very fortunate that we've been selected to go to an NCAA regional. But with a tremendous field that we have down there, any decision that we make is to try to put ourselves in a position to win a regional. That's it. So so you got to think short term, one game at a time, but you got to think about the whole weekend too. So I'll have a decision, I'd say, by Wednesday on who our starter will be.